Hi, welcome to Sacred Rose Yoga's channel. Thank you for visiting. Thank you everybody who visited my first video. I got more views than I thought I would, so that's really cool. Thank you so much. As far as this week's video is concerned, I wanted to go over a few things that my yoga teacher didn't tell me initially, but maybe I wish that she did. So I want to inform you on some just very quick little things that, as a beginning yoga student, can really help you kind of get into this practice of yoga. And even if you're not a beginner, some of these things might be new to you because no one has ever told you before. So I hope that there's something here for everybody. Well, first and foremost, please try to avoid eating any food at least an hour before your yoga class. Preferably 2 hours so that your food can fully digest. But it just makes sense. If you're coming into class and your digestive system is working, your nervous system is working, it's going to be a lot harder to relax and stay present in the poses. So it's just recommended that you don't eat at all prior to your practice. Also, along those same lines, it's recommended that you don't take any caffeine before you come into class. And I know this is really, really hard for people. Everybody's either really into their teas or their coffees, and they have their little rituals with that. But if you can, try to avoid drinking any caffeine at least an hour before the class. And again, same reason, your nervous system is fired up, your digestive system is working, it's going to be a lot harder to relax. Also, this is a big one. In living in Los Angeles, it's really hard to be on time anywhere. And with traffic and whatever other excuses you can come up with, it's very difficult to be on time anywhere, especially to your yoga classes. If you absolutely must be late, please be mindful and respectful of the people that came there early and or on time. Most yoga studios have a little keyhole in their doors, so before entering the class, maybe peek in to make sure that they're not doing something that's requiring some quietude, like meditation or breath work. And then once they're done, then you can enter the class. And most yoga studios will tell you this, but some don't. So for yourself and out of respect for the practice and your teacher and your fellow students, please, please, please be mindful when entering the room. Also, when you come into the room, don't sit there and just plop down your mat. This is a very distracting, loud sound, and there's no need to call more attention to yourself than you already have by being late. So, mindfully place your mat down and enter the class as such. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention is that when you come into your yoga studio, please sign in before coming into the class. And this is a part of practicing truthfulness, which is what my teacher always said. Practice truthfulness, it's a part of your yoga practice. Also, it shows your respect for not only your teacher, but also the yoga studio that you're practicing at, so that the numbers accurately reflect who is showing up and practicing. And cell phones. So please, please, please turn off your cell phones if you must bring it into the yoga room. Vibration is not acceptable because things are going to vibrate around and it's going to be a distraction for a lot of people. So if you can, don't bring it in or just turn it off, plain and simple. If you are wearing shoes in a yoga class, that's usually not acceptable unless there's some kind of crazy circumstance. But we recommend not wearing shoes and not wearing socks. There are those yogi toe socks which have the grip on the bottom of them for people who are who sweat a lot, or if it's a sweaty kind of class, you might use those. That's okay because at least you have a grip. But otherwise, you're going to get sweaty, you're going to be slipping around, and it's going to be really miserable. So no socks, no shoes. And you know what? If you're funny about your feet, don't worry about it. No one's judging, no one's paying attention. You are your own worst critic. It's okay. It's all right. The other thing I wanted to mention is leaving early. So some of us have obligations. We're all really busy. It's okay if you need to leave early, but please just let your teacher know ahead of time. So if you're planning to leave early, come early to class to be able to do that. And also, if you're going to leave early, please just take a moment before you actually step out of the room and come into a shavasana. Shavasana is the corpse pose where you relax, you rest, and this allows your body to kind of settle and integrate everything that it's learned throughout the practice so that you're not just rushing out of there. So just take a moment for yourself, go into a shavasana, even if it's for a minute, and then leave the class. Also, clean your mats, please. I can't tell you how many times I've come into classes and mats are just filthy. They reek, they look gross. It's not going to help you with your practice. It's going to keep you out of focus. It's going to keep you not present. So out of respect for yourself, for your practice, and also for your fellow students, please clean your mats. And if you don't know how, you don't want to buy one of those expensive cleaners, just take a little bit of tea tree oil and mix it with water and shake it around and then spray your mat and then wipe it down. Leave it out into the sun for it to dry. Plain and simple. Very, very easy. Also, part of our yoga practice is ahimsa. This is Sanskrit for non-violence. Non-violence in your typical way, not towards your fellow neighbors or, out in the community, but also non-violence towards yourselves. So if it hurts, do not do it. Golden rule of yoga. If it hurts, do not do it. The teacher does not know your body as well as you do. If something doesn't feel right, come out of it right away. Come into a child's pose or a relaxed pose, and then when you're ready, join the practice. And then if you had a question about it, just ask your teacher afterwards. Maybe you were doing something wrong. But I hate to see people leaving classes ooching and ouching and limping and being like, oh, that was a really great yoga practice, and then, never coming back. So take care of yourselves. Very, very important. Have responsibility for your bodies. When you leave class, it's very important that as part of your yoga practice, you're putting your props away in an orderly fashion. This not only helps the studio, but it also shows your mindfulness. You're not just going to throw your blanket down. You're not just going to put your straps and your blocks wherever. Mindfully put them in place, fold things neatly. It's a part of the practice. When you are leaving, savor the quiet. Don't rush and jump into a conversation. Don't rush and leave. Savor this feeling that you have because it is very fleeting. It's very easy to lose it. So if you can, take your time, slowly fold your mat. Don't talk to anybody. Just let what you've experienced integrate into your body and then go out into the real world. And this also goes for when you have those practices where you feel kind of spacey and you leave and you're like, whoa, it's very good to ground your energy. Don't get on your cell phone. If you're in your car, just don't turn on the radio. Don't get on your cell phone. Just take a moment, maybe even close your eyes and really just breathe for a couple breaths before you start to drive and go out into the world. This is important. I don't want you guys getting into accidents because you're all blissed out, right? That's not helping anybody. Make sure you drink lots of water. This is a big one. Power yoga, vinyasa yoga, hot yoga are big, big fads right now in the yoga scene. And it's very easy to become dehydrated. So please, please, please replenish your bodies with water. And coconut water is also really wonderful. It has a lot of electrolytes. If water's not available, that's another great option. Smart water, even to a certain extent vitamin waters. I'm not a huge fan, but that's also an option as well. But definitely hydrate your bodies. And also this helps to release the toxins that have been released from your practice that are still probably lingering in your system. So you want to just kind of pee all of that stuff out. And let's see. Also, if you are finding that you're starting to get a little bit spacey after classes, another thing you can do is have a little snack. Most yoga studios have snacks there that you can purchase. Sometimes they provide it for free, fruit or cookies or whatever, health bars. Have something just to ground your energy and so your blood sugar doesn't fall too much. That way, again, you can function more properly when you get into your car and you leave. Don't get frustrated. As beginners, it's really, really hard. You see the people next to you doing poses that you can't do. You feel limited. A lot of times your mind is telling you things that, actually don't have any relevance to your body. We trick ourselves like that. That's a whole other video. I'll get into that later. But Honestly, just don't get frustrated. You're not going to look like the person on the cover of Yoga Journal. A lot of your teachers might not even look like that. We all have different circumstances with our bodies. We come from different backgrounds, different weight, different levels of experience, and different injuries. So just honor where you are currently at in your practice. And just know that with time and consistency and patience, you will be able to accomplish your physical goals. But most importantly, we know that yoga is not just a physical practice. You'll be able to accomplish these more subtle goals of being able to quiet the mind, to be able to relax, and those kinds of things as well. And part of that comes from being able to not get frustrated at yourself, not beat yourself up about it. And you know what? People just take yoga too seriously, plain and simply. It's all about having fun. It's about exploring your body, about learning about your limits, learning what really triggers you, and that's another one. Seeing what it is that you do that actually starts to get you fired up, that either makes you really happy or makes you really frustrated. Some poses are really great at bringing that out of us. Just have fun with it, breathe through it, and just know that it's going to be over soon and you're going to walk away feeling a lot better than you did when you came into class. So enjoy your yoga practices, have fun with it, humor yourselves, laugh, laugh, and laugh. It's funny. A lot of us fall, a lot of us, do all kinds of crazy stuff in our practices. It's all just about having fun and learning about ourselves. So thank you all. I hope this helps. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to visit my website at www.sacredroseyoga.com. Email me, and if you have any suggestions for future videos, please do that as well. Thank you all again. Namaste. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.